Good morning, guys. It is Thursday, December 5th, 2024. This Bathrobe business. I'm Georgi Oganov. I already drank all my coffee, but I still have the news. So, the big news of the day is Bitcoin. So, without question, this is going to be my headline story, my most major story of the day, just simply because Bitcoin is rallying again. It's not really a surprise, but still needs to be reviewed. So Bitcoin is up at over 100,000 for the first time in history. It actually hit 103 a few minutes ago when I was first going through the articles. But probably the rally is going to continue. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 105 by the end of the day. Now, what precipitated this massive spike? Well, there's a couple things. Nonetheless, coming from the Fed themselves. So let's start with the minor story. So I think a major motivator was, well, I shouldn't say a minor story. This is a major story. So Bitcoin soars past 100,000 on Trump's pro-crypto pick for the SEC. So there's not much information on this guy. So Trump is wanting to nominate this guy. It's Paul Atkins to replace outgoing Securities and Exchange Commissioner Gary Gensler. I don't know much about Paul Atkins. I think I have heard the name before. He's a hedge fund manager on Wall Street. He's Trump's pick. Now, why this is exciting for Bitcoin? Paul Atkins apparently is very pro-crypto, as opposed to Gary Gensler, who has been very anti-crypto during the entire Biden administration. Now, I couldn't find much information or even a quote from him on what he said about crypto that makes everyone think he's so bullish on it. But all the articles, this one from Bloomberg, there's another one from CNBC that say the same thing. He's just very positive towards crypto, and we're probably going to see more crypto-friendly policies within the administration. I know when Mark Andreessen was on Joe Rogan, he talked about how hostile the SEC and the Biden government was towards crypto, towards digital banking, etc. He said one of the reasons you're not seeing major moves in things like NFTs and major currencies, cryptocurrencies, was because the administration was so hostile towards it. So I think as a prediction, you can say that there's definitely going to be more major moves in crypto coming in the Trump administration. And probably I wouldn't be surprised if there was a resurgence in NFTs. I don't think you're going to see the mania you did a couple years ago, but I think there's probably going to be something. And I think if there's going to be innovation in NFTs, it's going to happen here in the next couple years. I think this is where the groundwork gets laid to show if this technology is actually worthwhile or not. Just because the technology is new doesn't mean it changes anything that much drastically. But I mean, for example, QR codes have been around since the 70s, 80s. They've really become, quintessential with this idea of a smartphone, but no one's becoming a billionaire off of QR codes. Same thing could happen with NFTs, but whatever development happens with NFTs, I think will probably happen within the next couple years. So that's the story in regards to the SEC. Now, in addition, Jerome Powell has said, who never really commented much on crypto, made a major comment on crypto just yesterday. So in an interview with Alan Sorkin from CNBC, he said that he doesn't see crypto as competition for the US dollar, but he does see it as competition for gold. Here it is. It's not a competitor of the dollar. It's really a competitor of gold. That's a pretty major statement to have the Fed chair validize. Is that a word? Validize? it is today. I'm extra sleep deprived right now. But to have the SEC, the Fed chair, give validity to cryptocurrency to say it's on the same level as gold is a pretty major move. He also said that he himself is not allowed to own Bitcoin, but he does see it as a speculative asset. So probably means, in other words, he's saying that if he could, he would be buying crypto. That's kind of a major move. I talk about crypto a lot on this channel simply because I feel like it's a hedge against the US dollar. I talk about gold for that same reason. I do not own any crypto. I actually just last weekend, I opened a Coinbase account. So I probably will be purchasing some sort of crypto assets here within the next couple of weeks. Probably I'm not too anxious about it. Sooner or later, I'll do it. But I think that we're seeing more and more validity being given to crypto under the Trump administration. Next story. Let's talk a little bit about payrolls. So ADP came out with their payroll numbers. Private payrolls grew about 146,000 in November, less than expected, ADP says. Now, these aren't the official Labor Department payroll numbers. Those come out tomorrow. And as we've seen, there's been so much delta, so much difference between what ADP reports and what the Labor Department actually reports that I don't really care much about the story. Even the trends don't really matter at much, it seems like, anymore. The ADP could be showing down, and the federal department could be showing up, and vice versa. But I guess since we're here, we'll talk about it real quick. The only thing I think is worth mentioning is the increase in wage growth. So wage growth accelerated 4.8%, a faster gain than October, the first time that has happened in 25 months. So, I mean, we're talking about 5% wage growth in just 1 month of 2024. So that's pretty powerful. Now, that is inflationary pressure. So just keep that in mind. That's not necessarily bad inflationary pressure because obviously it is wages, but it's still inflationary pressure nonetheless. In addition, there is another story on the Labor Department. Jobless claims are up ever so slightly. U.S. jobless claims rise moderately. However, this is still below overall averages, so it's not really anything to worry about. Americans filing for unemployment claims rose moderately to 224,000 for the week, suggesting a steady cooling of the Labor Department. But despite the increased claims are at level consistent with a steady job growth, and economists forecast a rebound in non-farm payroll in November. Labor market strength is largely due to historically low layoffs, as companies have been hesitant to hire more workers due to the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes. So all in all, job market is really strong. We'll get the real numbers tomorrow when the Labor Department reports, but you're seeing kind of low unemployment rates, very low, very strong job market overall. Now, last story I'm going to cover is probably Frontier. So this is just an interesting story. So Frontier Airlines will install first-class seats as industry battles for high-paying flyers. Now, we've seen this trend over and over, and this has been one of my kind of indicators, one of my temperature checks of how the economy is doing. Repeatedly, we are seeing strong numbers coming from airlines, specifically on the higher end. Business class, first class, not only are they increasing in prices, they're increasing in their luxury offerings, and people are still buying them. So much so that Frontier is getting in on the fight as well. This is interesting because for those that don't know, Frontier is like Spirit. They're a super budget airline. But apparently they're going to be installing a budget-friendly first class, at least 2 rows, is starting here in 2025. They're expecting it to generate approximately $200 million more in revenue in 2026, by 2026, and more than $500 million by 2028. So this isn't a minor investment for them. They're going gung-ho. They're seeing this as an actual, a major source of revenue. I don't know if it will be successful. I honestly think it will, because it seems like you can offer a premium product right now and the market will accept it. The market is hungry for it. This is one of the arguments I make for why the economy is doing overall very well. Now, I also say that there's rampant inflation in the economy, so take both of those in congruency. But I do think that there is a major growth for maybe not luxury, but for premium products right now. And I think that overall shows strength in the U.S. economy. It also is a little bit concerning because I know that also shows wage inequality as well. So that is something to keep in mind. A lot of people in this election showed up heavily for Trump because of unaffordability. However, at the same time, we are seeing major moves in luxury purchases. So I think there is a little bit of concern underneath these waters that the wage inequality is probably higher than it ever has been. But we'll wait to see what happens in the next coming months and weeks, especially with transition to a new government. That's pretty much it. So those are the stories of the day. I will see you guys back here tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a productive Thursday. Bye.